Joe Rogan is a man of many talents. He's a stand-up comedian, UFC commentator, and podcast host. Rogan is known for his curious mind and his willingness to have open conversations. He has become one of the most influential figures in the world today. Rogan's journey began in New Jersey. He was born in 1967. He started doing stand-up comedy in the late 1980s. Rogan's comedy is observational and often delves into controversial topics. In 1997, Rogan joined the Ultimate Fighting Championship, or UFC. He started as an interviewer, but quickly became a color commentator. His passion for mixed martial arts is evident in his commentary, making him a respected voice in the UFC. Rogan's career took another turn in 2009. He started a podcast with comedian Brian Redban. This marked the beginning of the Joe Rogan Experience. Little did they know this podcast would change the world of podcasting forever. The Joe Rogan Experience started as a casual conversation between friends. Rogan and Redban would chat about anything and everything. The podcast was unscripted and unfiltered, and this rawness resonated with listeners. The early episodes were recorded in Rogan's home. The setting was informal and intimate, which added to the podcast's appeal. Listeners felt like they were eavesdropping on a private conversation. The podcast grew in popularity through word of mouth. Rogan's fans were eager for more content. They enjoyed his humor and his willingness to discuss a wide range of topics. The podcast provided a platform for Rogan to share his thoughts and ideas with a larger audience. As the podcast gained momentum, Rogan made changes. He invested in better equipment and started inviting guests. These changes helped to elevate the podcast to new heights. Joe Rogan's interviewing style is unique. He's not afraid to ask tough questions and does not shy away from controversy. In fact, he embraces it. Rogan is genuinely curious about his guests, listens intently, and asks follow-up questions. Rogan's interviews can last for several hours. He allows his guests to speak their minds, not interrupting or steering the conversation in a particular direction. This approach creates a space for authentic and meaningful dialogue. Rogan's interviewing style has been praised by many. His guests often comment on how comfortable he makes them feel. They appreciate his willingness to listen and engage with their ideas. This approach has led to some of the most insightful and thought-provoking conversations in podcasting history. Section 4, Notable Guests and Episodes, a Tapestry of Conversations. Over the years, the Joe Rogan Experience has hosted a diverse range of guests. From scientists and athletes to comedians and musicians, Rogan has spoken to people from all walks of life. This eclectic mix of guests is a testament to Rogan's wide-ranging interests. One of Rogan's most famous interviews was with Elon Musk. The interview went viral. It brought attention to both Rogan and Musk. In the interview, Musk discussed his vision for the future. He talked about his companies, Tesla and SpaceX. Another notable guest was Neil deGrasse Tyson. Tyson is an astrophysicist and science communicator. He and Rogan discussed space exploration, the universe, and the importance of science literacy. The interview was both entertaining and informative. These are just a few examples of the many fascinating conversations that have taken place on the Joe Rogan Experience. The podcast has become a platform for thought leaders, experts, and entertainers to share their stories and perspectives with the world. Section 5, the Rogan Effect, Reshaping the Podcasting Landscape. The Joe Rogan Experience has had a profound impact on the podcasting world. It has helped to legitimize podcasting as a form of media. When Rogan started his podcast, podcasting was a niche medium. It was not taken seriously by many people. Rogan's success has inspired countless others to start their own podcasts. The podcasting industry has exploded in recent years. There are now podcasts on every topic imaginable. This growth can be attributed in part to the success of the Joe Rogan Experience. Rogan's podcast has also changed the way that people consume information. People are turning to podcasts as an alternative to traditional news sources. They appreciate the long-form format of podcasts. They enjoy the opportunity to hear from a variety of perspectives. Section 6, Joe Rogan's Enduring Influence. Joe Rogan has become a cultural icon. He's one of the most influential voices in the world today. His podcast has millions of listeners worldwide. He has used his platform to promote open dialogue and critical thinking. Rogan's influence extends beyond the world of podcasting. He has become a trusted source of information for many people. He is known for his willingness to challenge conventional wisdom and to ask tough questions. Rogan's legacy is still being written. However, one thing is certain: he has changed the face of podcasting forever. He has created a space for open and honest conversations. He has given a voice to the voiceless. He has inspired millions of people around the world.